My dear friends, as we gather here today in this moment of shared presence, I want you to know that you are cherished, you are valued, and most importantly, you are never alone. Let these words find their way not just to your ears, but deep into your heart, where truth resonates with the eternal rhythm of the Tao. I speak to you today not as a distant scholar reciting ancient wisdom, but as a fellow traveler on life's winding path. Like you, I have known moments of joy and sorrow, clarity and confusion, connection and isolation. It is through these shared experiences that we can truly understand the profound truth that lies at the heart of our existence. We are all interconnected, bound together by invisible threads in the vast tapestry of the universe. Take a moment now, if you will, to become aware of your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. This simple act of breathing connects you to everything that is, was, and will be. The air you breathe now may have once danced through ancient forests, crossed vast oceans, or been part of countless other beings. In this way, every breath is a reminder that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The sage Laozi taught us that the Tao gives birth to one, one gives birth to two, two gives birth to three, and three gives birth to all things. This is not merely a philosophical concept, but a living truth that surrounds us every moment. When you feel alone, remember that loneliness itself is an illusion born from forgetting our true nature. You are as inseparable from the universe as a wave is from the ocean. Perhaps you are facing challenges that seem insurmountable. Maybe you feel lost in the maze of modern life, disconnected from yourself and others. I understand these feelings, for they are part of our shared human experience. But just as the Tao teaches us that strength often emerges from apparent weakness, these moments of difficulty can become gateways to profound transformation. Consider the bamboo, which bends but does not break in the fiercest storm. Its strength lies not in rigid resistance, but in its ability to move with the forces that surround it. You too possess this innate wisdom. When life's winds blow strong, you need not stand alone against them. Learn to bend, to flow, to adapt, and know that the entire universe supports you in this dance. The ancient text of the Zhuangzi tells us of the butterfly dream, where a man dreams he is a butterfly, then awakens to wonder if he is actually a butterfly dreaming of being a man. This delightful story carries a deeper truth. The boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others, between one thing and another, are more fluid than we imagine. Your joys and sorrows are not yours alone, but part of the great flow of existence that connects all beings. In your daily life, you may sometimes feel overwhelmed by responsibilities, by expectations, by the constant noise of a world that seems to have forgotten its connection to the Tao. But I want you to know that even in your busiest moments, even in your deepest struggles, you are held in the embrace of something vast and loving. The very ground beneath your feet supports you. The air surrounds and sustains you. The sun warms you without asking anything in return. When you look at the night sky, you see countless stars, each seemingly separate and alone. Yet modern science has shown us what the ancient sages intuitively knew. Everything in the universe is connected through invisible forces, through shared origins, through the dance of energy and matter. You are made of stardust, my friends. Your very atoms were forged in the hearts of distant stars. How can you be alone when you carry the universe within you? The Tao Te Ching tells us that the highest good is like water. Water nourishes all things without discriminating, finds its way around obstacles without forcing, and always seeks the lowest place while sustaining all life. When you feel disconnected or alone, be like water. Flow naturally toward those who need you. Allow yourself to be filled with compassion for others, knowing that in giving comfort, you too are comforted. In this modern age, we are more connected than ever through technology, yet many feel more isolated than ever before. This paradox arises when we mistake information for intimacy, when we confuse digital connections for true human bonds. The ancient wisdom of the Tao reminds us that real connection happens in the space between the subtle energy that flows when hearts truly meet, when minds truly listen, when souls truly recognize each other. Think of a time when you felt truly connected, perhaps in nature, or in a moment of genuine sharing with another person, or in the peaceful silence of meditation. That feeling of connection, of belonging, of being part of something greater, that is your natural state. The sense of separation is the illusion. Your true self is vast as the sky, deep as the ocean, connected to all things through the invisible web of the Tao. The sage Laozi spoke of achieving harmony with the natural way of things, of finding perfect joy in simply being. This is not a distant goal to be achieved through struggle, but a present reality to be recognized and embraced. When you feel alone, when the weight of life seems too heavy to bear, remember that you are not separate from the strength that moves mountains, that grows forests, that spins galaxies in their cosmic dance. In your daily practice, whether you are at work, with family, or in solitude, cultivate awareness of your connection to all things. When you eat, be mindful of the countless beings and forces that brought food to your table. The farmers, the sun, the rain, the soil, the transporters, the sellers. When you walk, feel your connection to the earth beneath your feet. When you interact with others, remember that they too are manifestations of the same vast reality that you are. The Tao teaches us that true power comes not from domination or control, but from alignment with the natural way of things. When you feel weak or helpless, remember that you have access to the same power that moves the tides and changes the seasons. You are never separate from this power, just as a drop of water is never separate from the ocean, even when it seems to stand alone as dew on a morning leaf. In moments of anxiety or fear, return to your breath. Feel how naturally it flows, requiring no effort on your part. Your body breathes, your heart beats, your cells regenerate, all without your conscious control. This is the Tao working through you, supporting you, sustaining you. You are never alone, because you are never separate from this fundamental life force that animates all existence. Consider how a forest grows, not as individual trees competing for resources, but as a vast network of mutual support. Through their roots, trees share nutrients and information. They warn each other of dangers and support the weak. This is not mere poetic metaphor, but scientific fact, and it reflects the deeper truth of our own interconnected nature. Like trees in a forest, we are meant to support and nourish each other. When you feel the pain of others, when your heart aches for the suffering in the world, know that this too is a sign of your connection. Your capacity for compassion is not a weakness, but a strength. It is the universe becoming aware of itself through you, reaching out to heal itself through your acts of kindness and understanding. Every act of compassion ripples out into the world in ways we cannot measure, but that change everything. The Tao Te Ching tells us that what is soft is strong. When you feel vulnerable, when your heart feels tender and open, you are actually in a position of great power. For it is through our vulnerability that we connect most deeply with others, that we allow the Tao to work through us most effectively. Do not be afraid to be soft, to be open, to be genuine in your need for connection. As you go about your daily life, remember that every person you meet is fighting their own battles, carrying their own burdens, nursing their own wounds. Each person you encounter is, like you, seeking connection, understanding, and love. When you truly understand this, compassion flows naturally. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to remember and strengthen our essential interconnectedness. The ancient texts speak of the sage who treats all people as straw dogs, not out of disrespect, but from a place of absolute equality and acceptance. See the divine in every person you meet. Recognize the Tao flowing through every being. When you truly understand that there is no separation between you and others, loneliness dissolves into a deep sense of belonging to the human family and to the universe itself. In times of conflict or misunderstanding, remember that the person who seems to oppose you is also part of you in a deeper sense. Just as your right hand would never intentionally harm your left, seek to resolve conflicts from a place of underlying unity rather than apparent separation. This is not always easy, but it is the way of lasting peace and harmony. The practice of Qigong teaches us to feel and work with the life force that flows through all things. When you feel alone or disconnected, try this simple practice. Stand quietly, feet rooted to the earth, and imagine you are like a tree. Feel energy flowing up from the earth through your feet, through your body, and down again in a constant cycle. Feel the energy of the sky entering through your crown and flowing through you. You are a conduit for the energy of heaven and earth, never separate, never alone. Remember that even in your darkest moments, you are held in the embrace of the Tao. Like a child in its mother's womb, you are constantly nourished, supported, and loved by the universe itself. Your very existence is a miracle of cosmic proportion, a unique expression of the infinite creativity of the Tao. How can such a miracle ever be truly alone? As we move through these challenging times together, let us remember the wisdom of the ancient sages who understood that true strength lies in our connections, not in our individual achievements. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to deepen your awareness of your connection to all things, to open your heart wider, to let the Tao flow more freely through your life. When you feel lost, remember that the Tao is like water. It always finds its way. Trust in this natural wisdom that flows through you. When you feel weak, remember that true power is like the wind, invisible but able to move mountains. When you feel alone, remember that you are like a wave in the cosmic ocean, individual in appearance, but never separate from the whole. Let these truths sink deep into your being. Let them transform your understanding of who you are and what is possible in your life. You are never alone because you cannot be alone. It is not in the nature of existence to be separate. You are an essential thread in the fabric of the universe, a note in the cosmic symphony, a beloved child of the Tao. As we conclude our time together, I want you to take a moment to feel the truth of these words in your body, in your heart, in your spirit. Feel your connection to the earth beneath you, to the air around you, to all the beings who share this moment with you. Feel your connection to all those who have come before and all those who will come after. Feel your connection to the infinite source of all being. Consider for a moment the profound teaching of the Tao about cycles and seasons. Just as nature moves through its eternal dance of change, your life too has its rhythms and cycles. There are times of growth and times of rest, times of expansion and times of contraction. None of these states is permanent, and none is separate from the others. They are all part of the great movement of life. When you understand this truth deeply, you begin to embrace all aspects of your experience with greater wisdom and compassion. The challenges you face are not punishments or obstacles, but opportunities for growth and deepening. The joys you experience are not fleeting accidents, but glimpses of your true nature as an expression of the infinite. Let us explore together how this understanding can transform your relationship with every aspect of your life. Think of your emotions as weather patterns in the vast sky of your consciousness. Just as the sky remains unchanged regardless of whether it holds clouds or clear blue expanses, your essential nature remains pure and unaffected by temporary emotional states. This doesn't mean you should suppress or deny your feelings, but rather that you can learn to experience them with greater spaciousness and acceptance. In your professional life, remember that every interaction, every task, every challenge is an opportunity to express the harmony of the Tao. When you approach your work with this awareness, even the most mundane activities become sacred. The person who sweeps the floor with mindfulness and care is expressing the same fundamental truth as the artist creating a masterpiece or the scientist unlocking the mysteries of the universe. Consider how the modern workplace often creates artificial divisions and hierarchies that can make us feel isolated and disconnected. Yet beneath these surface structures, we remain fundamentally connected. The success of any organization, any project, any endeavor depends on the harmonious interaction of all its parts. When you truly understand this, competition gives way to cooperation, fear gives way to trust, and isolation gives way to collaboration. In your relationships, practice seeing beyond the surface differences that seem to separate you from others. Every person you meet is, like you, a unique expression of the same infinite reality. Their struggles are your struggles, their joys your joys, their search for meaning and connection your search. When you interact with others from this understanding, compassion arises naturally and genuine connection becomes possible. Think of how a forest operates as a single living system. Trees that appear to be separate above ground are actually connected through an intricate network of roots and fungi below the surface. They share nutrients, send warnings about threats, and support each other in countless ways. This is not just a poetic metaphor, but a scientific fact, and it reflects a deeper truth about the nature of reality itself. In the same way, though we may appear to be separate individuals, we are connected through countless visible and invisible bonds. Every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you think ripples out into the web of existence, affecting the whole in ways you may never know. Understanding this truth brings both responsibility and freedom. Responsibility to act with awareness and compassion, and freedom from the illusion of isolation. The ancient sages taught that the Tao flows through all things like water flowing through a landscape. It doesn't discriminate between high and low, beautiful and ugly, worthy and unworthy. It nourishes all things equally, offering its gifts freely to all who will receive them. When you align yourself with this truth, you naturally begin to move through life with greater ease and grace. Consider how modern technology, for all its benefits, can sometimes increase our sense of isolation. We may have hundreds of online connections, but feel deeply alone. The wisdom of the Tao reminds us that true connection happens in the space between, in the silent moments of genuine presence, in the shared breath of authentic communication, in the touch that carries healing and understanding. Remember that even in your most private moments, you are supported by countless seen and unseen forces. Your beating heart, your breathing lungs, your digesting stomach. All these functions continue without your conscious control, maintained by the same intelligence that keeps the planets in their orbits and the stars burning in the sky. When you walk in nature, feel how the earth rises to meet each step, how the air embraces you, how the sun warms you without asking anything in return. These are not separate elements, but aspects of the same reality that includes you. You are not walking on the earth. You are the earth walking. You are not breathing the air. You are the air becoming aware of itself. In your spiritual practice, whatever form it takes, remember that you are not seeking something outside yourself, but rather awakening to what you already are. The Tao is not distant or separate from you. It is your very essence, the ground of your being, the source of your life. Every moment of genuine presence, every breath of awareness, every act of kindness is the Tao expressing itself through you. As you move through the challenges and opportunities of your daily life, carry this understanding with you like a precious jewel. Let it inform your choices, guide your actions, and comfort you in times of difficulty. Know that you are never separate from the source of all wisdom, all strength, all love. The practice of meditation, whether formal or informal, is a powerful way to experience this truth directly. When you sit in silence, allowing your thoughts to settle like leaves falling to the bottom of a pond, you begin to sense the vast spaciousness that is your true nature. This spaciousness is not empty, but full of potential, not separate from anything, but inclusive of everything. Let every interaction become an opportunity to remember and express your essential connectedness. When you meet someone's eyes, remember that you are seeing another expression of the same consciousness that looks out through your eyes. When you touch someone's hand, remember that you are touching another part of yourself. When you hear someone's story, remember that you are hearing another chapter in the great story of life itself. As you go about your daily activities, practice seeing the sacred in the ordinary. The cup of tea in your hands, the keyboard beneath your fingers, the chair that supports you, all are manifestations of the same reality that includes you. Every object, every person, every moment is a doorway to deeper understanding if we approach it with awareness and openness. Remember that your thoughts and emotions, though they may seem to define you, are like clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness. They come and go, take different shapes. Sometimes bring storm and sometimes bring gentle rain, but the sky itself remains unchanged. You are not your thoughts or emotions, but the awareness in which they arise and dissolve. In times of difficulty, when the challenges of life seem overwhelming, remember that you have access to the same power that moves the tides and changes the seasons. This power is not something you need to acquire or develop, it is what you already are. The challenge is not to become something other than what you are, but to recognize and trust what you have always been. Let your life become a celebration of connectedness, an expression of the infinite creativity of the Tao. Every moment is an opportunity to remember and embody this truth. Every breath is a chance to experience your essential unity with all that is. Every heartbeat is a reminder that you are never and can never be alone. As we draw near the end of our time together, I want to remind you that these teachings are not mere philosophical concepts, but practical truths that can transform your daily experience. The understanding that you are never alone is not just a comfort in times of difficulty. It is a fundamental reality that can inform and enrich every moment of your life. Carry these truths with you as you return to your daily activities. Let them work within you, changing how you see yourself and your place in the universe. Share them not just through words, but through your way of being in the world. For as you embrace your connection to all things, you become a light for others, helping them remember their own essential connectedness. Let us close with a moment of shared silence, feeling our connection to each other and to all things. Breathe deeply, feel your presence in this moment, and know that you are held in the loving embrace of the Tao. This is the ultimate truth of existence. You are never alone. You have never been alone. You can never be alone. May the peace and wisdom of the Tao flow through you always, blessing you and all beings through your presence in the world. Thank you for sharing this sacred journey of understanding together.